Wish you could become a morning person? You know the type, up before the sun, early morning runs, first one to the office with donuts and a smile. How do they do it? Easy. With the new Galaxy Watch 8, sleep tracking and personalized insights from Samsung Health help you improve so you can wake up to a whole new you. One who, dare I say it, skips the snooze? It's possible. Train your sleep with Galaxy Watch 8. Learn more at Samsung.com. Requires compatible Samsung Galaxy phone, Samsung Health app, and Samsung account.
Welcome to Sephora. I'm looking for a perfume that's not too perfumey.
I got you.
Serum moisturizer or moisturizer serum.
Let's get into layering.
My concealer is making me look worse.
Sounds like the wrong shade. Let's get you matched.
There's only one store that really gets what you're going for. Get beauty from people who get beauty. Only at Sephora.
Hi,
Let's get you a basket.
What is going on, people? Ryan, Leary, William Tincup here with another episode of The Barf. A look at this week so you can, what do I say? A look at what that was so you can be, let's start that over.
No. But it's good for the folks to kind of hear it like this. It's like, this is the John Oliver show.
Is it the John? Okay. It's the look at the week that was so
right.
You can prepare for the week that is. Now that I look like a total douchebag.
No.
What's going on, man?
Not much.
How are
Not
you?
much. It's a good Sunday. It's bright outside, and I can't wait to get into it. I think we have 20 stories or so we're going to pitch each other. And so,
22 if you're counting.
There you go.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Let's do it, man. You go first.
Okay, sounds good. All right, so I came across this story on Reddit, which is all kinds of exciting to find a story on Reddit. So Tesla's head of human resources exit after staff upheaval spreads. Ali Abarello, I hope I said that correctly, has left the company, joining a handful of other senior execs that have recently departed. And why I think this is interesting, Ryan, is, okay, one, as a leader of talent, when is chaos too much chaos? So for the folks that are out there that are practitioners, okay, you've lived through chaos, HR and talent acquisition, you're just going to have some level of chaos. But when does it reach the threshold where you're just peace out? That's the first thing. And the second thing is, what will Ali do next after Tesla?
Yeah, I think it's when chaos becomes too much is when people can't be at their desk and work. When there's more water cooler chatter in the employee population, right? When there's more water cooler talk than there is actual productivity, or in leadership when shit's just not getting done.
Yeah.
Right? Like, people are distracted. They're not having meaningful conversations. There's backdoor talking. It's time to go. The other thing I think of when I hear something like this is she just had enough. She's like, you know what?
Peace.
I don't care about the company. I need something new, and I'm out, and this is the reason. I don't know. I don't know the situation, of course.
Yeah, I don't either. No one knows. No one really knows.
Yeah, this is just my thought. So
good stuff.
Yep. All right. So the jobs report came out for April. Have you taken a look at this thing yet?
I have.
Yeah. Nothing groundbreaking, right?
No.
There's definitely a slowdown in hiring. Definitely not an economist here, but my take, right? There's a slowdown in hiring. Last year, this time, in March, just this past March, I apologize, 300,000 jobs this year, this month. 175,000. So definitely a slowdown. About 0.1% in unemployment increase. Negligible, nothing there. What stuck out for me was healthcare, which has always historically had issues on finding new talent and making hires. They're leading the way with just over 56,000 jobs.
That's a lot.
But what got me, and maybe you know this, I don't know why I didn't know it, or I just never really put thought into it. The average non-farm salary, hourly wage, $34.75.
Yeah, it's actually appropriate. When I said high, that's actually wrong. That's actually what they should be paying.
It could probably be higher, right, for a living wage, but for some reason I thought it was 20, 22, 23, something in
McDonald's.
that range. It
No,
really is.
seriously.
Yeah,
You can get a
it
job
really
at
is.
McDonald's for $19 an hour here.
Yeah.
So with the 3.9%,
Mm-hmm.
the thing on that is that is a 2-year record of under 4%
Yes. Under 4%.
unemployment. We haven't had that or seen that since the 60s of 2 years of that type of low unemployment. So that's a trip. But I love seeing the jobs report. I love seeing the ADP report or the BLL report. But the thing that I got out of that was the consistent. So in years past, we'll have an up marker, an up or down or an up or down or quarter up, quarter down, year up, year down. This is 2 years where it's been under 4%.
Yeah.
Yeah. Subpar. So that's fantastic.
Love it.
Okay, let me pitch you this story, which I got on Forbes.com, so you can read the rest of the story if you like. Why hiring managers are widening their gaze, not gaze,
G-A-Z-E.
G-A-Z, away from the Ivies. So COVID, technology, a changing workforce, they've led to employees cast a wider net for collegiate talent, even as they sour on Ivy League grads. Love this because it was kind of coming from the hiring manager's perspective. So one, I'll throw it at you in 3 ways. Is this a result of paying less and getting more? Meaning, go to Texas A&M, actually I don't necessarily have to pay him a Harvard salary or her a Harvard salary, and I'm going to get a better student or a better skill set. 2, is this skills-based hiring? Just simply, doesn't matter what the name on the degree is do you have the skills? Or 3, the impact of DEI programs. So those are all false choices. It could be completely something else. But what do you think? Why do you think if hiring managers are, if they're souring on Ivy Leagues, what do you think that is?
I love all 3 of those, man. That might be 3 of the most intelligent things I've heard you say all week. Like, did somebody write that for you?
No,
that was pretty fucking good. I was like, dang, I was gonna throw a joke in there and be like, because they don't like protesters. I don't know, but hey, you know what? I've got nothing. All 3 of those are.
It's going to be a combination of all 3.
Yes, I can see arguments for all 3. Maybe less on the diversity because I think the Ivy Leagues over the last probably dozen years or so have really put an effort into that, right? And or at least through their
after
PR
not doing
programs.
something for 100 years, they've finally got around to
at least through their PR programs, or but everything from the skills and just overall just well-rounded person, I think they get a better return. And it is less expensive. I think the notion, and I think of the show Suits here. You're only going to hire lawyers from Harvard. You're also going to pay $150,000 for an associate that can do the same shit as a $60,000 associate because they haven't got experience. I get it. There's different education. There's different exposure and all of that stuff.
What you've nibbled around the edges is entitlement. So if an MBA from the University of Texas and an MBA from Harvard, they're the same MBAs. They're the same textbooks.
Sure.
It's a different network. But the entitlement that comes from having a Harvard MBA, that's completely different,
right?
Than it is from someone with the university.
And it does create a different person. But I love all 3 of those.
Are you?
I hate New York. I hate New York for a number of reasons. One, I just think that people are just overly smug. Yeah. Second, they ended the Sixers in the first round this past Thursday, which was just a hell of a series. I was a little just done, like whatever, it is what it is. However, that said, although I love the people that I know in New York,
right?
We'll just put that out there so they don't hate me. Not all of them. There's some that I could but they are now the first state to mandate paid time off for parental care.
Prenatal care.
Prenatal, sorry. Parental. Prenatal care.
No.
This is why editing exists in our world. But we're not allowed to edit. We don't edit.
Those things are very similar.
They are. They just switch the letters around. It's like Wordle. All right. So starting January of 2025, workers in New York who are pregnant will also have additional paid time off available outside of the 12 weeks
Oh, cool.
that they have. And this is for things like doctor's appointments, procedures, prenatal care, visits, all of that stuff, where you generally have to cut in your leave time or even your personal time. This is now added on. And New York's the first one to do this. So this
Should
is
be in every
different
state.
than it should be in every state. And I think it will. California, I think, has something, but they're not the first. Or they have something similar. They just not, it's not kind of the law, right? So this is not part of this is this is part of New York's sick leave, which is different than the paid family leave. So that's important to know.
Yeah, it's great. First of all, it should be this is something that every state should adopt.
Sure.
I mean, just make it simple for people to have.
Let's have less unhealthy babies.
Let's try that for a decade or two, just see how that goes. And I would wonder. I'll dig into it, but I wonder if it's for both the parents, so that I'll just take myself for example. I did take off for doctor's appointments and stuff like that. So like anytime Michael went to something, I went. Yeah. But I could because I was an entrepreneur. But if you know what I mean,
that doesn't count.
Yeah, I know it totally doesn't count.
Use me as an example. Connexa never docked me at the time. I was with Connexa.
Right.
They said go. They never said how long are you going to be. They just said
that's the way it should be. That's a good business right there. That's why you love Connexa.
That's why it's a cult. No, I'm kidding. We love you, Rudy.
So, I pitch this one to you. So the White House aims to transition nearly 100K federal IT jobs to skills-based hiring. The Biden administration sees skills-based hiring as opposed to relying on college degrees as a key to making up the cyber talent deficit. This was at federalnewsnetworks.com, so you can go read the whole story. And this thing tracks for me. So when I read it, I'm like, this is exactly what we should be doing. Just get rid of degree, and especially in cyber work. Let's just say they define that as cyber work, which some would probably loosely translate into people that are in the security, hacking business, etc. Yeah. And so I think it's a great idea. I'm going to take the politics out of it for a moment. I don't really care. I just like the idea that the federal government, in whatever form, is saying, you know what? Do you have the skills? Great. Let's just talk about the skills that are required for this job. I don't care if you have a degree. And again, like if we are talking about hacking, I don't know too many people. 20 years ago was a little bit different because they came out with a CS degree or computer science degree. But I don't know any people now that hack that actually have degrees.
No, these are people that are in their closets playing games, doing whatever in the dark all day. So my mom was a federal employee, always a federal employee, and even today, you need a college degree to get in and start at a certain level and do all of this. And I think, it's really just a bad practice. And look, the government's been hiring people without degrees for forever, right? They hire hackers all the time. They have people in places like I could be one. You don't know. I mean, like
you never know.
You never know. Like I could be talking to you. People think you're amazing. You're really just a spy from Siberia.
So what do you got?
All right. So I laid off the EEOC.
Okay.
But I did go to the DOL.
Yeah, happens. It happens with all addictions.
Yeah, it happens. So DOL issues guidance, AI's interaction with FMLA and FLSA. So I feel like this is more about employee protections. So employer to kind of protect employees against retaliation from the employer. So anyhow, U.S. Department of Labor issued guidance this past Monday, making it clear that employers remain responsible for compliance with federal laws when adopting artificial intelligence or other automated systems in the workplace. Yeah,
smart.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah. The thing is what they have to do is so the employers, employers are going to try to get out of everything if they can, as they should. And so what the DOL is actually saying is, no, you're you're responsible. If you embrace any type of large language model or
This is your
chat
decision.
machine learning, this is you. You've made a business decision, and if it adversely impacts your employee, that's on you. So I like it because, again, we all need guidance, and the DOL so that companies now know what the guardrails are.
Yeah.
Their legal team now knows. Okay, hey, we have some risk here.
Yeah, this is what it is. This is the risk. This is what we need to do.
I love it. All right, Ryan, let me give you this one. Are you a Chipotle guy?
I hate Chipotle. I hate the lines. I hate the fucking mess in there. They've got food flying all over.
Hey, this is something we can agree on. I don't like Chipotle either.
I liked Subway until they were stealing the tips of the employees.
And you know,
whatever.
Having sex with minors. But it's different. Can't support that.
Focus.
So
Chipotle.
Says, whatever. Says avocado cutting robot coming soon. The fast food chain also said, so it's two stories in one. The fast food chain also said that it raised prices by 7% in California after the state's minimum wage law took effect. So we're going to focus on the robot. But it also, they kind of buried that in there, kind of like, oh yeah, and by the way, they raised it 7% because the minimum wage went up. This is at Quartz, so QZ.com. You can learn a little bit more. I think the guac, if you're a guac person, will get even better because a robot won't spit in your guac because his high school girlfriend broke up with him before summer. That's just me. That's my fast food experience. Is that the robot's not going to do foul things. It doesn't have that type of just doesn't have that type of thing. So I think it's going to be cool. And again, not a bad thing. Robots, self-checkout, all that stuff. Good stuff.
No, there's a couple of things here that's actually pretty interesting to me. One is I would be curious to know where I went immediately when you said that was how many injuries do they have?
Good point.
By 18-year-old, 16, 17-year-old kids rushing because there's 50 people in line.
Right.
And they're cut. Oh, there goes my finger.
And they've taken about 300 milligrams of edibles.
Yeah. Well, that too. So I think it's just
they're
really
rushing. Cool. It's just a different type of rushing.
It's I like it. I mean, look, you don't mix milkshakes by hand. You use a machine.
Yep.
Same thing, right? I'm digging it. When one comes my way, I'll let you know. Okay, DailyPay breaks into the SMB market. They offer, for those who don't know DailyPay, they offer earned wages, access, daily. Get it? DailyPay. Makes sense.
Yep. Tab out.
What's that?
Tab out.
Yeah, I thought you said time out. I'm like, all right, time out. So they break into the SMB market and they're offering their services now to employers with less than 400 employees. When I think SMB, though, I think 50.
Me too.
Or less.
Yeah.
But we'll go with it. We'll go with it.
Sure.
So what's interesting here is this isn't new. They're just now coming into SMB, which I think is really good for smaller employers. And 400 is a small employer, bigger than small business, but small employer. What I think is interesting here was some of the numbers that they put around their announcement that more than 60 million people are employed in companies that are less than 400 or less for total FTEs.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's a lot. Yeah, that's a lot.
But it's a pyramid, right? So the SMB makes up the largest part of that pyramid, then mid-market, and then the top of the market, Fortune 1000, let's say.
Right.
They're the top of the market. So that tracks.
Yeah. So here are the numbers that kind of got me. The amount of Americans living paycheck to paycheck. So in some cases, week to week. In other cases, every other week, 62% last year. That's a lot.
I'm actually not shocked, especially coming out of COVID.
Yeah, that's a lot.
I'm not shocked. I think that number is actually higher.
It probably is. Yeah, it'll go up.
The not embarrassment or guilt or shame or any of those types of things, but people not wanting other people to know their business. Right. I think I could see that people would say, no, it's, or just being overly optimistic. Oh, no, we've got plenty, we can always sell the car,
Right.
And
Right.
but I think that number is higher. I think it's more in the 70s, maybe even almost
Probably.
80s.
I like to know I'd really like to. I'm sure there's research out there, but I would like to see what is paycheck to paycheck. Is it okay? I need my paycheck to pay my water bill, or is it no? My expenses are covered. I just
Right.
can't go make a
Yeah.
$2,000 purchase. I got to
Right.
save up over 3 paychecks. Like, what is paycheck to? Is it?
I
Is
think the
it
people that would know that is the people that are certified financial planners, that network. I
right?
think they would know based on savings.
Well, let's go
So I
find
think
these people and bring them on a show.
I think you could get there. I think you could get to the math by understanding how much is in savings or in assets.
Yeah.
So either if you have the assets, okay, you're not living paycheck to paycheck.
Right.
So if you have a 401k, okay, you're not technically living paycheck to paycheck. If you own your house, you're not living paycheck to paycheck.
Right.
I think it is a little bit of the, okay, listen, if they're going to turn off the electricity, if we don't pay it on Wednesday, you are living paycheck to paycheck.
That's
Okay.
what I consider a
And
paycheck.
I've been
to
there.
paycheck. Yeah.
Many times. So fair enough.
Yep.
All right, let me throw this one at you. I got it at the Wall Street Journal. And Ryan, and don't look at it. So what is the most dreaded word at work? If you were to guess. Most dreaded.
The most dreaded word, like
Dreaded
something
word.
I say and
Would
someone's
sit
like,
you into a fit of rage.
Mint is still $15 a month for premium wireless. And if you haven't made the switch yet, here are 15 reasons why you should. 1, it's $15 a month. 2, seriously, it's $15 a month. 3, no big contrast. 4, I use it. 5, my mom uses it. Are you playing me off? That's what's happening, right? Okay, give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan. $15 per month equivalent required. New customer offer first 3 months only. Then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.
This episode is brought to you by Tic Tac. Your boss is going off at you for missing a deadline and you swear the clock just moved backwards. Suddenly, you remember the pack of Tic Tacs on your desk. Now you're riding horseback on the beach, the smell of citrus in the air. And what's this? Your boss is sitting behind you, breathing heavenly fresh mint. Refresh your mouth and mind and share your good vibes with Tic Tac.
I don't know. Is it a filler word like
Hey.
yo, hey.
Hey.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hey. That's me. Yeah, I say that. Hey.
So
I say that when I don't remember somebody's name. Like every
hey, this guy.
time someone walks, hey, what's going on? It's like
Hey
every
at work.
day.
Hey at work is to get your attention. So imagine it's Teams and Slack and Google Chat and all that, everything else. It's hey is the word that people are like knocking on the door.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, and they're just trying to get your attention, and then that's what's driving them crazy. It isn't necessarily the word. The word could be any word, whatever. But what it is it's the tap on the shoulder. What it immediately got me to think of is hey, it's the Fat Albert Show.
I used to be I used to be like addicted to that. Oh god, that's my stand up right there.
Bill Cosby. Is it too soon? Probably not too soon.
No,
anyhow,
probably not too soon.
Just as you listen to this, folks, hey is a word that sets your peers into a fit of rage. So there you go.
I'm just gonna say hey.
Now you know.
Hey, I have an idea. I've got a story to talk about.
What do you got?
All right, so Employ, we love the people over at Employ. They announced a new chief product officer. So you'll tell this story better than I will over their acquisitions and consolidations and kind of how they're going into the market. But long story short, over the last number of years, they've really focused on every sector of the market. How do we work with enterprise, mid-market, SMBs? And the work they've been doing over the last couple of years have really been tying that in. They've made a lot of moves and they've done really good things and it's starting to come to fruition. That said, I think the next couple of years, they're in a position now to really kind of own the market. And I think the addition of their new CPO, Dara, is going to really help them with that. So her pedigree is top notch. It's there. I mean, she's been through ADP, Equifax Workforce Solutions, Ultimate UKG. She's led product there, very similar to what she's going to be doing here. And yeah, so I'm excited to kind of see where that's at. Maybe we can get her on the call as well, or on a show as well, to learn more about what she's going to be doing.
I think you need I think they need K1's the one to put all this stuff together, is the investment firm that put all this stuff together through a series of acquisitions. Let's just go ahead and say 14 as a guess. Lever, JobVite, and Jazz HR as ATSs. But they also made a ton of other acquisitions. And in all those acquisitions, you've got some really cool technology. You've kept some of the people. But, with Pete stepping down and bringing in a new CEO, the CMO had also stepped down or got a new job, whatever. And now you have a new CMO, and now you have a new CPO. I think it's a good time for them to just have a fresh set of eyes to say, okay, what do we have here, and where do we want to go? And I think it's wise. I think it's wise for K1 and all the customers of Employer are actually going to get something out of this, because someone coming in with a fresh set of eyes are going to say, why are we doing this way?
Yeah.
And then they're going to say, no, we need to go in this direction, delete that, add this, and all that stuff, which it's going to help everybody. So I'm super excited. I think it's going to be great for everybody.
All right. So we've got some acquisitions to talk about.
We do.
All right. So Paystand. Who I've never heard of before. They've acquired a play called TeamPay. So this is kind of like the Venmo for B2B payments. Okay. So this is a company that really is taking note of consumer finance apps like Venmo and Zelle and PayPal, even, some of these others. B2B payments are complex. We know that. Right. They're expensive. They're ridiculously slow in many cases. The goal here is to move B2B payments into 2024, we'll say.
Yeah, more of a consumer market.
Yeah, in a consumer market, kind of like marketing has done with a lot of talent acquisition. Let payments be instant, let them be free. It's a blockchain play. So anyhow, they can bring it both on the payable and receivable side. I thought this was pretty interesting. I thought you would as well. It's just why I stuck it in there.
Well, I love it because, again, anything you can make, because employees take on expenses. You fill out the expense report, which there's a lot of technology that makes that a little bit easier, but you still got to get paid. So now getting payments to people, to employees in some cases,
right.
The better, the easier you can make that, the faster you can make that. I think the less anxiety people have around putting stuff on their own card to then be expensed and then waiting for the expenses to come back. I've always been fascinated by what I call employee financing because what's not factored in generally into employee financing. Okay, so employee financing is you've got an American Express and you put all your expenses, you pay for the flight, all that stuff. You put all that stuff in there, and at the end of the month, you fill all that stuff out, you put it in, okay, whatever. Well, there's interest being charged on that credit card.
Yeah, it sits for 30 days, 45 days. Yeah. They don't pay the interest.
They don't pay the interest.
The next time, if you're lucky.
I would assume that most employees don't charge back the interest back to their expense reports. So I've always been fascinated by that. So again, we can get out of that with something like this if you can get your money back really fast. So
and cheap. And fees. Yep.
Can't hate it. So GNA Partners is a Houston-based PEO, and they acquired a Utah-based PEO network called Teamwork Group, and I found this on Business Wire. Why I like this story is I worked with the GNA president and CEO, John Allen, who has serious ties to Utah, so most of his childhood in Utah. went to the University of Utah and Brigham Young. I'll just assume he's Mormon, but let's not make that assumption. But what I loved about John is, like, we people talk about integrity. Like, if, they talk about it a lot, especially in business.
Mm-hmm.
John's one of those guys that actually has it. Like, he doesn't have to talk about it. He lives it. And I worked with him 15 years ago. It was like I worked with him yesterday. Like, I can still remember things that he said and did and how he made me feel. Just a great guy. So I love seeing things come across the wire where I know the people. And in this case, I'm just really, really happy for G&A Partners because they're just expanding their business, PO business, and they're expanding it into his hometown or his home base. And so I like that as well for him. So
very nice.
Good for them.
I'm not going to add anything to that because,
there you go.
I won't mess it up. All right. So I found this and, I thought about, like, is it really interesting? Yeah. Wonder School. Okay, so it was interesting to me as I started to think more about it in my local area where I live.
Right.
So where I used to live in the city, there's daycare every block. Like,
right.
It didn't matter. Like, you may not be able to get in.
Right.
But they were there. There was 80 of them in a neighborhood. Where I'm at now, there's not a lot. They're spaced out, and they're god-awful expensive. Let me just tell you, they're expensive, right? So anyhow, Wonder School acquires substitute teaching staffing platform. And another one last month is another one they acquired last month, Early Day. So anyhow, this is an ed tech play. Okay, so outside of learning, which there's a ton of learning plays in talent acquisition and in HR, all AI based, et cetera, et cetera. Just general ed tech has really kind of been overlooked. It's like it's education. It's boring, right? Anyhow, this is more of a marketplace. It's still categorized under ed tech, which is why I say that. But this is more of a marketplace for child care services, but not just like care.com or babysitters or people like that. These are actual child care providers. And they also work with local municipalities to help spin up child care centers. Right. So I may be a certified child care person, and I want to create my child care center. Well, that's a lot of money. There's a lot of things I need to do. Wonder School is working with local municipalities to help build that infrastructure for people that want to do this. And what was interesting to me here is the amount of parents that I know personally who are affected by not having childcare.
Oh, yeah. Parents.
Right? Yeah, parents. I mean, like, one can't go to work, the other can, or, vice versa. Because you're either paying $1,300 or $1,400 a month plus to put your child into a Goddard school or something like that.
Right.
But there's not a lot of small child care. They're nannies. And so I think this because they're building that infrastructure for local. I see it here. I think that could be really effective.
The way that I think that this impacts the listener is thinking about benefits and offering benefits differently to different employees. So, like, my children are a little bit older, your children are a little bit older. This doesn't impact us. So if this were a benefit in a benefits package, we wouldn't utilize it. But, it wasn't that long ago that we struggled with this or you struggled with this, and we would love for an employer to have had some type of relationship with service providers, EAPs, and et cetera, where they could actually help us with this.
Yeah.
So I think this is kind of looking at the mix of your employee benefits and saying, okay, who needs this? Great, y'all use that. Okay, who needs this other thing? Okay, y'all use this. And so I think this cookie cutter approach to benefits that we've used for forever, like we talked last week about premenopause and menopause, like there's actual things that can help folks that are going through that. Like, this is one of those deals, like, that's a very specific 45, as they detailed it, 45 to 55. Okay, this is something that's a different age group, or at a certain point in your life, let's just say.
Yeah, a certain point in your life.
So I like the story, I like the acquisition, but I like the idea of how people should think about benefits differently in the future.
Right.
And kind of personalizing them to the employee.
Yeah. Yep, there's a lot out there. Okay, I've got another one. This is an outside our industry acquisition that I think will be inside our industry at some point. If not them, then somebody doing what they do. So Webflow acquires a company called Intellimize. So essentially, they've done this to add AI-powered web page personalization. So think, I don't know, I'm browsing somewhere, I come to your website, and it's just your standard website. Here's what we do, here's about us, here's how we do it, here's how you buy. It's not personalized to me. And what I'm doing, where I came from, what I'm doing, all of that stuff, right? So here's where I think this is important. In talent acquisition, career sites, right? Benefits page, just a company in general. So think of, pre-application or even post-application interviews, all of these people that are doing research on your company. If let's see, I'm identified in your system as I have an interview coming up in 2 weeks.
Right.
I was on Glassdoor. Clearly, I was on there for a reason. I'm on Glassdoor. Then I ended up on your website. You're able to see I came from Glassdoor reviews. Now I'm on your website and I'm searching for whatever I'm searching for. You can tie that back to me and personalize that experience and provide me with the proper information that I need, rather than just your standard jargon. Right now, you can drive candidate flow. You can drive whatever you need. Drive them wherever you need. What you do. I think this is going to be the next iteration of most of our sites, our career sites.
So we just talked about personalization and benefits. This is personalization in the, let's say for this particular case, the candidate experience.
Exactly.
So having a personalized, so you and I both were looking at the same job, yet we've come from and have different interests. And if someone knows that, they can create content, Gen AI, and otherwise they can create a different experience that would be more tailored to me than you, which gets an uptick in that person then making the application.
Even just imagery.
Yeah.
Just I come from, I don't know, my background or wherever I'm coming from, I'm a hockey player.
Yeah, guns and rattlesnakes.
If you have an outdoors program or a group that does outdoors, that's going to be for you. Maybe it's hockey for me, right? And I'm seeing that engagement around. I love it. I think I know there's companies that are trying this, that do some of this, but they don't do what Webflow does. These guys are pretty good.
All right, we got about 7 stories left. Let's just jump into research. How Americans feel about transparency. This is a USA Today article, so please go take a look at that. It's a beautiful research, actually. So if you're ever trying to make the business case for pay transparency, this has actually got some great stats for it. 83% of Americans believe employees would benefit from full salary transparency. I'm not going to get too much into it. Go look at the report, pick the things apart that you like. But I like the idea. First of all, it's a good study, and all the numbers are really great. And again, if you're trying to make that business case internally, you're going to need studies, and you're going to need graphics. You're going to need those things that you can then make the business case for why that's a good idea.
All right, I've got one here. Love bombing. You ever hear of love bombing?
I'm going to say, if I don't look at it in Urban Dictionary, probably no.
Yeah. So Greenhouse released a survey or a report on bait and switch and love bombing. And so bait and switch we get, right? So this is all about poor hiring practices. So what I found really interesting here, so it was across 1,200 job seekers, 53% and 53% on both sides stated bait and switch. 53% said love bombing were cited as the biggest frustration. So why I like this, or why I want to share it with you and everybody, is love bombing. Love bombing is telling you how amazing you are. That is, your background's tremendous. Everything you do is amazing.
So this is the employer to the
recruiter to the candidate saying how amazing they are and how great they are in the application process, how well they think they're going to be received.
Is the bait and switch opposite? Is it the candidate Or is it just this is
I
all?
didn't go too far into that
Okay.
part. I'm assuming bait and switch is just here's what the job is
It's both
visually.
employer to candidate. Got it.
Right. So, but the love, but then they don't get the job. After being told how amazing they are, they've gotten their hopes up, they've really gotten on their side.
There's context to amazing. You're amazing, but there's also 85 other people that also applied.
Also are amazing. Yeah.
Now, is the word amazing anymore? So have we taken the meaning out of the word amazing, which I think is probably something to think about.
Yeah. So we'll drop the links for all the research down there. But the bigger thing for me that I was thinking is recruiters need training. They're not able to have direct conversation, kind of like a nurse or a doctor with bedside manner. Nobody wants to hear how amazing your cancer is. You got cancer at stage 4. Look, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
Be direct, right? And I think maybe not the best analogy, but
100%.
I think you get.
You're dying. You got 2 days. What?
Let's get rid of it. I'm going to go dark real quick.
All right. Yeah, that escalated quickly. Cypher surveyed 300 HR decision makers that revealed the biggest workforce challenges for UK organizations this year. So they're very specific. It had to be the chief people officer, CHRO, what they call HRDs or HR directors, etc. You can find this on CIPHR.com. Great infographics. So what struck me out of all of this stuff, so they're great stats, and they're talking to 300 leaders, and this is in the UK, so it's very specific in 2 ways. But what I found fascinating about this research is it goes through 50 different things that are important. None of which, one reached over the 50% threshold, and that's retaining employees and keeping top talent. Everything else was below 46, 45, 45, 42, 41. Everything else was below that. So immediately I thought to myself, okay, well, why couldn't they agree, on one level? Like, why couldn't they get something that say, hey, okay, 80% of the people said this. You got to go fix this one thing, and it'll watershed to fix these other things. Yeah. So it also highlights how rich the tapestry of HR is. The challenges aren't just one thing. The challenges are like 41% ensuring a positive workplace culture. Okay, so is that related to retaining employees? Like, if you were to take that one out, would that number have been more in retaining top employees or retaining employees in general? So when I read that thing, I was looking for the 92% believe, do this. And what I didn't get there was that, which also kind of like, okay, well, why is it so bifurcated? It is so bifurcated because people need that choice to then say, no, it's actually more about a positive workplace culture. That's actually what we should be. 41% of 300 people said that was important to them.
Yeah, I think it illustrates there's healthy conversations in HR right now. Yeah. And where I don't think 4, 5, 6 years ago it was, here's what it is. Here's what we need. Now we're open. We're having conversations and we're seeing more fragmented outcomes, I think. And this is what that does.
All right, last research piece we have for this week is the 23-24 Aflac. Can't say that use that duck noise every time I really just want to go Aflac. Seriously, it's a Workforces report. This is their 13th year annual research examining benefits, trends, and attitudes. So it's at Aflac.com. You can go take a look at it. So I'll only do one stat, but there's some great stats in there. 74% of American workers grapple with stress, and women are disproportionately affected.
Is this work stress or stress?
Work stress.
Yeah.
So work stress. So go take a look at the study. I think I told Ryan in pre-show it's terrifying, horrifying, fascinating when they do these things. And what's cool about it is they've got the last reports on the landing page. So you can go look at the last years and see what was heavy there, just to kind of see longitudinally over 13 years what's actually come in and out have been important. So go take a look at that. Aflac.
All right, we got some dollars being thrown around this week.
We got 4.
We got a couple to talk about. So, company called LayerX landed a $26 million Series A. So companies are, so this ties into more of a remote and in office workforce. Okay, so we're hybrid now, and companies are coming back. Some are staying out. So companies they're not heavily reliant on browser-based and SaaS-based applications. Okay,
Right.
so this opens the organizations and the employees to just a ton of risk, right? Data leaks, identity theft, 30 extensions, phishing, all of the above. So what LayerX does is this is an extension that works with any browser of the organization's or the employee's choice. It works regardless of where the employee base. So this is a risk mitigation extension
I like that. That's good.
that organizations are now can use to, as they get away from SaaS-based programs, et cetera. And everything's browser-based.
I think it's smart. I think, first of all, this is just mitigating risk. It's going to kind of feel a little Big Brotherish because people are going to know more about what you're doing and where you're doing it and when you're doing it and all that other stuff. But I think the business has to protect itself.
Yeah. Oh, and it crosses over between business and personal devices.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. All righty, let me give you one. Bethesda's Keep company raises $1.4 million in a fundraising round. So I love this because I got it at the Daily Record, and the Daily Record goes city by city, country by country, state by state, all that stuff. So Keep company is an employer-offered benefit that prevents burnout and attrition for working parents and caregivers. Hey, and this is a steady drumbeat here. Aging population, we're going to see more and more of these services being offered from employers to employees. Again, kind of like we've talked about these different benefits.
Yeah.
Okay, for some people, their parents are aging. They don't know what to do. It's just like what you brought up earlier with childcare.
Right.
At a certain stage in your life, you need different things, like a Swiss Army knife. You don't need the screwdriver. You need a pair of scissors. So let's keep an eye on Keep Company, and that was at thedailyrecord.com.
All right. You are going to make me want to be an HR person.
Okay.
I'm starting to get the feels of creating
happens.
Custom programs for people to make them happy.
It happens.
It
happened to me.
Never going to happen to me. Never. No. Well, I shouldn't say that. If I ever need a job,
I'll
keep my idea. So okay. So Wallet as a service startup. This is a company called Ansa. They raised $14 million.
Yep.
Okay, so this is really interesting to me. I really like this, and I kind of want to use it for something. I don't know what, but I want to use it for something. So this is a branded payment solution for merchants. So this is more for, to get away from the credit cards, right? The credit card fees and all of this stuff. So they pitch it as just a way to build brand loyalty, reduce fees, so on and so forth. So I, as a deli or whatever, have a branded wallet. I can give my employees, my patrons, and they can purchase. I can put loyalty programs. I don't get fees. They don't get fees, et cetera, right? Quick pay. They can put money in their wallet and just use it at my establishment. Love the idea. So I thought, how does recruiting use something like this? And what would be most effective? And I kept going back to staffing. So staffing gets they charge big fees. They get paid late. They get exorbitant fees, right? Merchant fees or ACH fees or withdrawal, whatever it is, right? So how do we change this, right? So the three things come to my mind. We'll get you kind of take on. So for CX, right? Recruiters can reimburse candidates. Think candidates coming in for interviews. Candidates can be recruiters can reimburse candidates for travel, for parking during the interview immediately, right? They sign up. They have the wallet for whatever company. You're coming in for an interview. There's a $40 parking fee, a $20 train fee, whatever it is.
Yep. Tolls.
You're reimbursed immediately right through a wallet. That was one thing. Second was, so recruiters and agencies, I think, can use a branded payment experience that is fast, reduces fees to a really tiny amount. And that means a lot to an agency of 2 or 3 recruiters that can have access to something like this. And the other thing is instant payout on referrals. So if candidates are referring, employees are referring, or people in my network are referring people to me, they can come through my branded experience and get paid out immediately under my moniker, my company, as a recruiter, building loyalty programs, et cetera. So similar to like a DailyPay or something like that,
Right.
where you don't have to wait 90 days. Yet
No.
you're getting paid, and
You have
it's
to
all through
submit
my brand.
paperwork and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
I really like this idea, especially for recruiters. You know, we've historically done a very poor job with candidates in terms of paying them back. It's just on them, like whatever expense you had to pay to get here
Just get to the
for
interview.
the interviews. Yeah, that's on you, Holmes. I like this as kind of treating the candidate better, treating them more humane, and saying, "Hey, listen, how'd you get here? Okay, great, done deal. Use this app, download this, you got your money back, not a problem."
I'm
Like
not
I
saying
like
that
that experience.
companies can do that today. There's just it's
Ish.
difficult for them to do.
And it's not branded.
No.
They can do it through Venmo or do it through
Exactly. It's a
something like
branded
that.
experience this way.
I like
Love
that.
it.
I like that. And for staffing firms, they could brand it as the client. So
However
if
they
someone's
want.
applying through them to another company, they could brand it as that other company so that they actually have a really, really branded experience. Either way.
Yeah.
All right, last story. Here we go. Amplifier security emerges from stealth to bridge the divide between the workforce and security with AI and human-in-the-loop automation. I have not seen this human-in-the-loop automation phrase before.
I was going to say, it just gave me the heebie-jeebies.
So Amplifier, it's amplifiersecurity.com. Take a look at the press release. It's 3.3 million. So it's I think they even call it a seed round. So it's not a huge amount of money. But what I like, one phrase, is transforms how employees interact with corporate security tools, enhancing security without hindering productivity. So what I thought about is the technology is actually helping humans interacting with the different security applications that they have access to. So it's a bridge tech. So as I understand it, it bridges the human experience with the technology experience. And so first of all, if true, will we see more of a trend with it? Like, because right now you have technology on one sense, human on the other, and then how do we get them to talk? How do we get them to interact with?
Right.
And again, how do we get everything to be more productive? And so keep an eye on this. I don't know if people are going to use this human in the loop phrase.
I want to use it on a T-shirt. I'm not lying.
Human on the loop.
Human in the loop. Like, that's pretty cool. It kind of gave me. I was like, ooh.
I'm in the human in the loop.
I'm the human.
That's it. That's all I got, man. For this last week, that's all I got.
Yeah, this is a busy week, but a lot of good stories out there. We got some travel coming up, so we will publish that at some point. And when we see you out there, please come say hello. I'm going to throw my shameless plug in there. Please send me some clothes. I'm out of clothes. I need more clothes. I just want
need
more
t-shirts.
Send me your t-shirts and hats, people, please. Especially if there's sun shirts, because it's summertime. Anyhow, love us, like us, subscribe everywhere. We will see you next time.